Buckle up, babies. We're talking about a sensitive subject today. Today, part of that CBR list on why comic book readers suck says that we hate the gays. Alrighty, so kick back, relax, let's get this party started.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Let's move on to number 7. We have anti-gay community big. Okay, so it says gay comics are an amazing part of the industry. This has evolved tremendously, mostly due to indie comics and DC, whose Vertigo imprint was highlighting gay. When did queer not stop being a slur? Also, queer-friendly stories in the 90s. Oh, we need to bring back the great slurs again. Nobody calls me Wonder Bread anymore. Damn it. Okay, so anywho, all right, so let's see. 20 years ago, readers could pick up a Marvel comic and see homophobic jokes. Good old days. Regularly, now comic companies put out queer titles from queer creators more than ever, yes, and have absolutely homogenized. I remember that dude, Milo Yiannopoulos. He's a jackass. He's a moron at a lot of things, but he always said one thing that I absolutely believed in. He says, I don't want gay marriage to become legal. I don't want us to become mainstream. There's something a little bit devilish and deviant about being a homosexual. There's something outside the norm that people even look upon gay people as being fashion icons, or they look upon gay people as being that much cooler. And if we become the norm, we'll lose that. I absolutely believe that has actually happened. I really do. I really do. When it comes to comic books, much like with, say, Batgirl with the Joker cover, you're not allowed to write a gay character three-dimensionally anymore. Because if you do, someone's going to say you hate gay people because you put them in danger, or maybe you showed a weakness and you're saying that all gay people can't do this. However, anti-gay bigotry is alive and well in the comic fandom. We call them Democrats. Fans and even some creators speak out against gay comic and creators. They use vile terms and bad faith arguments. Like what? And have no problem pretending that they're the majority. Okay, like what? What are the vile terms? What are the bad faith arguments? The harassment gay fans and creators alike face is astounding, and it's not just cringeworthy. It's easily one of the most toxic elements of comic fandom. Now, like I said, like what? Are you talking about how fans go, wait a second, Tim Drake had 30 years worth of being a straight guy and you turn him gay? Iceman literally was gay therapied. You had a telepath put the idea into his head. I don't know. Let me see if my gay viewers are going off on me here.
Well, I mean, one chat I want to highlight, Mr. X, and I think he's absolutely right. He's, as he says, some of my closest friends fall under the spectrum. And these comics are basically a minstrel show of said folks. It is absurd.
Iceman absolutely was that. Bobby Drake is said to be the younger Bobby Drake from another dimension is said to be gay. Therefore, older Bobby Drake, who had girlfriends for 60 years, starts acting like a 12-year-old gay kid carrying around a homosexual handbook. Not kidding. Go read the book. That actually happened. They couldn't just have him be Bobby Drake and gay. That they had to change the character to somebody who was like, oh, I know I'm at a friend's funeral, but I'm picking somebody up. And that's what it was. They were at it was more of a wake, but they were at a friend's wake, and all he could talk about was all the hot guys. They wrote Bobby Drake like he was a 1980s gay stereotype neighbor.
Yeah.
Instead of like Bobby Drake and just go, you know what, guys, I have a secret. I've been uncomfortable. I keeping it a secret, blah, blah, blah. I'm gay, and he's still him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, for example, I mean, it's funny to see the Midnighter and Apollo book up there, because go back and read the early issues of the Authority when Midnighter and Apollo are in there. They are just badass, beat the crap out of anybody. Oh, and they just happen to be gay, and they happen to have a relationship. And
that should actually be the way all relationships are handled. They just happen to be. Unless you're writing a story specifically, like, okay, at Midnight or Apollo want a vacation, they want a couple of days off. Obviously, it will be about their relationship. So it'll be about their homosexuality. If Lois and Superman are trying to find some quiet time, it's going to be about their heterosexuality, their relationship. Okay, fine. That's okay. But when you make everything, and that's all they are, that's when the big problem comes. And I'm sorry, no word twisting is ever going to actually make that harassment. The inability for the comments to be faced, for the questions to be answered, is on them, not on us. Sorry. And here's another thing. I don't care if Superboy is gay. His sexuality was never brought up. So, okay, you screwed up on making him older, so you didn't get that growth, especially with one of his friends being raised in a Muslim country. It would have been an interesting dynamic to see. But having him, oh, I'm gay now, and everybody around him go, yay, it's wonderful. No. How can you say life is hard and coming out is hard, and then have everybody around, especially with Tim Drake, who, it's a big freaking shocker there, guys. Weren't you trying to bang Stephanie, or maybe have banged Stephanie for the last 30 years? And every one of these people who would agree with this statement would tell you how hard gay people have it when it comes to coming out and so forth and so on. Yet they're afraid of that freaking story. They're afraid of the story, and that is the worst part. Okay, so let me get some comments.
I think worse than Tim Drake and Bobby Drake is how they ruined Alan Scott.
Alan Scott, yeah.
Yeah, because before that, before they made him gay, like, his son is gay, like Obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
And because Alan was a little bit more conservative, he did have a problem, and Bud was trying to get used to it because he loves his son and blah, 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 like being a good dad and all that. Now, instead of him having a problem with that, it's because he was too scared to come out. So he let his son suffer through that rejection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a sucky way to take it.
There's a lot of projection. Again, I guarantee you this Steve Orlando Midnight or Apollo book is going to be absolutely wretchedly bad.
It came out years ago.
Was it years ago? Okay, well then.
Let me get some comments here. Milo was on Tim Pool this year. I saw him. He's not dumb, very peculiar, but a very smart guy. And I think he was right about lose. There's a mystique that I think that gay people have lost. Queer has always been a slur, says Ahsoka. These people just refuse to believe it. Hell of a lot of people still to this day refuse to call themselves queen. Ahsoka, by the way, has or queer. Ahsoka has come out on this channel, so I don't think I'm doing anything. I will call you home slice if you feel like you have to. Hell, I know older gay men who say it's still a slur. Well, I myself consider it a slur, and yet there it goes, right out there. I call it a slur because I'm a bi-female, and yet I am not LGBTQ, blah, 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 however you want to do it. Let's see, make people not more than just gay. Yep, and now I present my documentary, What is a Home Slice? Tim Drake and Bob both are brainwashed, says Cartoons and Comics. Just like Dalton, I'm a libertarian. I don't want to be lumped in with the people who literally try to say anything that's right of X is. Yeah. Cartoon, hold on this one.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Sorry.
I am so far behind on these things. Let me go up a little bit. Okay, what were you about to say?
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, what this author calls anti-queer bigotry or whatever is basically criticism 99% of the time.
Yeah.
Yes, there's always going to be some small element of the fan base, whatever. It's in everything, but they'll focus on the most minute thing in order to act as victims. But the problem is that all these writers tell the exact same story. It's usually just this stereotypical, nonsense that if a straight writer wrote it, they would get raked over the coals for using the stereotypes and how unrealistic it is, blah blah blah. And it's just frustrating too. And the last thing too is that there also always seems to be almost a near glee in terms of, ooh, what's the next legacy character that I can turn LGBTQ? And I'll just say lastly that your boy Zach did an awesome video dissecting the Gwenpool Marvel Infinite comic, where Jeremy Whitley, writes her as, oh my God, I'm asexual. Unlike, Whitley and Alana Smith, Zach actually did the research to see and understand what being asexual means. And he eviscerated that book, but in a very critical mindset and way.
I will bet you money that research was a 2-minute Google search.
Well, it was better than what Whitley and Alana Smith did.
No, that's my point, is they won't even do that. So there you go, guys. Did you survive? Huh? What do you agree with? What did you disagree with? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to do the clicking, the liking, share. Get word out about the channel if you like what's going on. And if you don't mind helping out the channel, go on over to Ko-Fi. Links in the description below. Drop $1 in the tip jar. Thank everybody who's already done that. To everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.